Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me Matt. Every free for you all here on Essen Steelworks, reworked for Spearhead and Viking, I think it's called. It's like Essen Steelworks, but it's been reworked for Spearhead and the Viking mod. Let's go through the players. It's on the Eastern Front today. First of all, we have KCH as the Wehrmacht without a command choice yet. Well, actually that's his clan. Ulf F-Man, I believe is the actual name here. And then we have Battle Nation aka as the Waffen-SS without a command choice. Finally, I love you Uwu with like the division for the Wehrmacht. Meanwhile, we're in the Soviet Union today. We have Kiem as the Motorstölke, Garlic Bread as Shock Division, and finally Kikyong without a command choice yet. We need to see what happens from this. I do like some garlic bread. I actually bought some garlic bread. I'll probably have that for dinner. I like garlic bread. Anyway, we'll have the Waffen-SS moving up in the center, and looks like we also have a Waffen-SS commander choice. It's gonna be propaganda. Fascinating, and looks like F-Man has gone for Panzer Division. So a lot of variety here for the Germans to work with. Like the Panzer plus propaganda, so that could be a lot of potential heavy armor late game if they use it correctly. Panzers and Sabers got the first shots off here at the Sturm Pioneers. So I think the Sturm Pioneers want to be a little bit cautious. Also, this is a victory point map, if you didn't notice. I don't usually get these, but it's nice to have a little bit of variety, don't you think? It's at 500 points, it's 750 points, so it will be a little bit longer than usually normal victory point matches are, depending on how they take the victory points, but I like to see some victory point matches now and then. Means I hopefully don't have to fear about a match being over an hour long, because sometimes that can be a little bit surprising for me when I'm not prepared for them being over an hour long. Sturm Grenadiers were forced back here by the massive Soviets. We do have some Sturm Pioneers President Volkssturm coming up behind. But I think the Sturm Pioneers are going to be overrun by the conscripts. Throwing a Molotov quickly. In a lot of the industrial sector, we also have the Soviets moving into the buildings. Having a firefight with the Grenadiers and the Pioneers from building to building. I think that's so far to the Soviets' favor, but simply because they can have another squad with a Molotov come up. I don't think the Germans are prepared for that. And on the southern flank, we just have the Germans keep an eye on the Soviets, ensuring they can't see the point. Molotov go around the building, doesn't look like it did much. We do have an early Soviet Jeep as well here for the Motorstölke. Armed with a Dushka on top. Because the Soviets are fighting a lot of Volksgrenadiers and some Volkssturm down here. One flasher going out, but looks like the conscripts might be able to kill this Volksgrenadier. They are very bad with their accuracy. But the Volkssturm out in the open, that just get mowed down because of it. Sacrificing himself to allow the Volksgrenadiers to get back. We do have a Kugelwagen with an MG42 here. Suppressing and pinning down the conscripts in the open. And while the conscripts are forcing themselves up on the Pioneers in the northern flank, the Ballan being thrown into the building of all things. Oh, he will deny the building to the Soviet Union. So I suppose that's something. Still going on for the Volksgrenadiers. But denying the building to the Soviet Union will at least be something. Means they cannot dig in there as easily. Going to finally secure that front line. Jeep on the southern flank getting taken out with its gunner here. Pioneers pushing up. But I think the Jeep might get away. No, it gets cleared out. Germans need to secure some of these victory points. The Soviets have all of them at the moment. We got some Volksgrenadiers on the flank here. Moving the intercept. Get some very good shots off, but we do have a Maxim coming up. Let's see. They will kill the conscript though. The fact that they have better accuracy than the Russians. But out in the open like that, the Maxim will just pin them. They are throwing smoke grenades. Will Wagner's keeping these Soviets at bay here. Doing a pretty good job with the 1742. Soviets actually lost a lot of their units on the northern flank here. They might have to pull back. Germans are overrunning the southern flank, but there's a Maxim arriving. Soviets lost a lot of their early infantry actually. But the center though, they have a Bren carrier to requisition more units from. We also have a Storm Grenadier here with an LMG-42. Doesn't look like the MG can fire though. You can see how that turns out. Kugelwagen's keeping an eye on the train tracks. Building has completely collapsed here from the fire. I think the Soviets can just reinforce from the universal carrier, and indeed they can, as I stated earlier. So they can just keep the fight going here. Like, it's a good little unit that Shock Division get access to. That'd be really useful. So it's getting more and more conscripts from the northern flank. Also, we also have a command choice. I think 13th have rifle. Indeed, 13th is rifle. So that's going to be a lot of cheap conscripts suddenly. Oh, we have shock troopers on the field already. That's a very quickly they've arrived. They're not be able to be suppressed while they have Stalin activated. Making them very lethal here. Yeah, taking out those Doom Grenadiers and force them back. And a good use of some early shock troopers here. Very costly though. Shock troopers are very expensive infantry. Germans are moving into the buildings here. They want to try and get an opening to get the victory points. But the Soviets are pushing up en masse with their infantry. Storm Grenadiers are not going to be able to hold this at bay. They are throwing a fragmentation grenade though. There's a lot of good damage there actually, but that's too many Russians. And well, the Wehrmacht has secured the southern flank for the most part. But the Soviets just keep pushing forwards here. I think the shock troopers probably need to move back and reinforce. You could merge with some conscripts there actually if you want. Although that will not give them the armor stats that the shock troopers normally have. We do have a T-70 coming out as well. So it's still moving up to the northern point here. Pioneers have done a decent job here securing this munitions point. Looks like the conscripts on the move here. They're trying to get close with the universal carrier. 85 hits. But now they can jump out and they can prepare to throw a Molotov or something. But the Grenadiers just switch target and mow them down instantly. Good play there from the Germans. And MT-42 is actually be able to penetrate and do some damage to the universal carrier. Not at that range though, I think they need to be closer. We do have the Germans coming on the other flank. Kubelwagen as well, and Folkestone pushing up hard. Getting up behind the sandbags. They're going to try and Panzerfaust the universal carrier. And they get it. Unfortunately, they don't have the animation for the Panzerfaust due to how Common Imperius 2 is set up, I think. Yeah, some Frontovik inside the building here with some PPSHs. We also have an officer here arriving for the Soviet Union already. But there's also an MG-42 here for the Panzer Grenadiers. Doing his best here to try and kill the Soviets, but there's also a Maxim and everything. Artillery is being called in by the lieutenant, probably on the machine gun. 2-1 in the field, they're coming at 2-2 for the Panzer Division. T-70 heading for the center, shock camp set up here. Allow the Soviets to reinforce and actually get shock troopers from it. Very potent little building. Well, camp. Kubelwagen taken up by the T-70. And the Waffen-SS has to pull back at that. Soviets are taking control of the northern industrial sector. Flamethrower on the Pioneers, a good choice in this kind of urban area. But the Soviets are holding on to the central and northern victory points, slowly capping away at the Germans' points. Soviets are securing the southern victory point as well, doing a very good job being aggressive. Jock Dushka arriving here from the camp, only a 3-man team, but it is a Dushka. Actually, is that even a Dushka? That's not a Dushka, that's actually just the M1943, so like the better light machine gun, I think. Well, it's a heavy machine gun, but still. You just use the Dushka model. But you need to, if it has 3 bullets, it's a heavy machine gun. If it's a super heavy machine gun, like the 50 caliber, it's like 2 big bullets, I believe. That's a little confusing sometimes, but I noticed the icon here was a little bit different. So this is set before the HQ at the edge of the industrial sector. Maxim laying down here up here with a lot of suppressive fire. To make it difficult for the Germans to move around. So let's push up further here again for the central point. Full PPSHs have been manned here. We do have a Panzer II command tank. Looks like the 222 went down somewhere. Looks like it went down here. Probably to the Dushka here. Raid going out here for the lieutenant. Now the Panzer II is definitely going to be a little bit harder of a nut to crack for the Soviets. I don't think the 50 caliber can really hurt the looks. Großdeutschland Division is being hit by the suppressor fire. I guess they're just being close enough to the machine gun and firing area. Until they're being called in. But they're pulling back. Until we're arriving here from the Lux as well. Not enough to set this corn silo or whatever this place. Some kind of silo building looking at this. So it's keeping the Waffen-SS at bay for now. But that pack will be able to just take a shot for that T-70. Destroying it instantly. I think the shock troopers might want to pull back here. Despite their tenacity with their PPSAs, there's just too many accurate rifle shots here. And we are fighting still here. The Germans are trying to get inside the buildings. Flammenwerfer arm, the Volksgrenadiers are moving up. Wants to get close to that Maxim building. Going a Stillhandgranate. Molotov going out. It looks like the servicemen trying to anticipate the path they would take. We also have a better machine gun up here. Not the Dushka, just has the same sounds. So the Maxim got cleared out. The Germans are still trying their best to try and keep a hold of this central building so they can capture the point later. But there's too many Soviets. We even have a lieutenant here. Probably gonna call in some artillery at some point. The problem with the Soviet artillery is you need to actually have line of sight to call it in. But to compensate for that, it tends to be a lot more powerful. That's generally how it's set up there. Oh, we have some Panzergrenadiers on the flank with some MKB-42s. Taking out the conscripts. They need to focus down that officer though. More conscripts are arriving, they cannot fight that. There's just too many Russian bodies on the battlefield here. They still hold the sender. Germans have secured the southern point here. Lux is moving down to intercept these. Oh, we have some Odan on the field. Elite Soviet infantry are able to motor. Oh, they might get close enough to Lux to use an anti-tank grenade, and they know it. Ah, they got suppressed. And now they're basically dead. There's no way they can get out of there, I think. Push from the Soviet infantry from the sender. Trying to be very aggressive here. Until being called here by the lieutenant. Probably gonna try and set this building on fire, I imagine. And a barrage should soon be done, and then you need the Germans are evacuating. Realizing what's about to happen. But Soviets have secured the southern point. Those that they also took out the command looks with an 8C grenade. Ooh, very, very good for the Soviets, but the PPSAs are just suppressing the Storm Pioneers. Remember that Soviet troops with the PPSAs withdraw magazines and just pull down a lot of firepower rapidly. Like even these Großdeutschland is having trouble behind heavy cover here. Simply because the sheer amount of suppressive fire. But now the Storm Pioneers up to fire. Because they took the weight off them. And that's gonna force the shock troopers back. We also have a sniper team here, unique to Rifle Commander, I think. But in a recon team, it's a sniper team. Both gonna get that hold up inside the main building again. But the Germans really need to get to victory points. They are really suffering here. Already down to almost half the... Actually, not half the points yet, but they're getting there. They're losing points very fast. Lufthansa wants to try and engage these Pioneers, but Pioneers are not actually bad infantry. They actually do pretty competently. We'll see if they can actually win that engagement now with their PPSHs. They are throwing a grenade. Pretty good throw. And it does suppress them. But it looks like the Fonsoviki, the single last guy, wants to get out of there.
God's troops ready for action.
Großdeutsch now with an LMG-42, supporting some Storm Grenadier. That's going to be enough to force that Maxim to fall back, I think. Not even going to be able to get to fall back. Germans are trying to secure the point up here with some MP40s. But the Russians are moving in with more and more conscripts. We do have an MG34 setting up here for the Wehrmacht. We'll see if that'll be enough though. Lots of Soviet infantry to send lots of more shock troopers. Just a fusilage of bullets coming towards the trench here. The Volkssturm cannot hold that. You just see the sheer amount of bullets. It's a hailstorm. MG42 sitting up. Will it be enough? Oh no, they're only being suppressed. Oh, there was something that suppressed and probably a grenade. But the shock troopers can no longer do first start. They've already used it previously. They have to pull back again. Meanwhile, the Germans are going to intercept on the flank. They want to try and stop all these shock troopers from returning to fighting condition. Take out the machine gun and now need to focus down these shock troopers. Very good play there from the Waffen-SS. Oh my god, they're taking out all the shock troopers. Oh, that's a huge loss for garlic bread. That's a huge, huge loss. Shock troopers are not cheap. They have 400 manpower apiece. That is perhaps the most expensive basic infantry you can get. And oh my god, I just moved them all down in with some 3rd SS veterans. Garlic Bread has lost practically everything here in the center. Ooh, that sucks. But the Soviets are still winning on the victory point so far. We'll be able to take the northern point if they work towards it, I think. But we'll do the T-34 here for Garlic Bread. But you should avoid getting too close. They're gonna find anti-tank rifle grenades. Doesn't do anything. Just bounces off the front. Explosive kills the squad in retaliation. Veterans do a Panzerfaust though. They're also using it as captured DPM of all things. Panzerfaust goes off, almost kills the T-34. Man, this has been quite a hectic battle so far.
I am needed.
We also have the NKVD arriving, the unique battle group available to Rifle Commander. So we have some political units on the battlefield as well here for the Soviet Union. So we see the front line. You know, the Odon are still pushing down here with lots of their Odon infantry. So lots of elite troops here present, armed with RPDs and everything. Those grenadiers might be in trouble. But that's a lot of firepower coming our way. These are very good infantry, so don't underestimate them. Mortar cleared out here by the armored car. So it's not made a move for this point yet. And he's moving up with the LMG, but they're being suppressed by a Maxim. I think this is a Maxim on the right with the NKVD, which is why it's a 3-man only. I think it's essentially what's called a blocking detachment, is what the battle group is called. Yeah, it's definitely one of the blocking detachment, that's what it's called. You get one of the NKVD squad and 2 Maxims. You do with Duke Edo arriving here, firing high explosives. Doing a pretty decent job there. Pioneers pushing up the Flammenwerfer. And throwing a Gebaldeladung. Oh, the Maxims are not in a process that can cover because there was a side blocker there. Which means the Pioneers can clear it out. But the Pioneers run back after noticing all the other Russian infantry. NKVD up here in the northern point, they might try to capture it. They are being spotted though thanks to the Kugelwagen, which does actually serve as a recon vehicle, so it can actually spot stealth infantry. Oh, we have MKB-42s and MP-40s on the Panzer Grenadiers. These guys are really good to close and short-range engagements. Really good for this kind of environment.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Looks like the NKVD has been spotted. They might want to just open fire. Currently they're just being shot to pieces.
We have lost the machine gun crew.
After this is taking in the center, more shock troops are arriving here for Garlic Bread. But it's going to be hard to make a comeback from that. Panzer troops, Panzer forces are moving up here. Bustoys are getting some good suppressive fire in. Important the Fox Grenadiers pushing up with MP-40s. Getting up behind the sandbags, but grenades coming out. But it's allowing the Großdeutschen to get up to the truck here. And Großdeutschen are pretty good infantry. You can only have one of them at the field at a time. Unique to a Panzer division for the Wehrmacht. T-34 is definitely making some work here. Oh, but there's just too much firepower coming in on the Großdeutschland here. Might want to consider getting out of that. But the Germans are pushing up very hard here on the motor industrial area. There's some rifle gas on the field. Oh! Yeah, the Stugi is definitely a problem. He can actually fire pretty fast. It's good for dealing with mass infantry in fortified positions. Like, good choice from I Love You Uwe. I rarely see people get the Stugi, but it's really good in this kind of situation here. Popping some smoke there to pull back. Turrets are securing the central point again. T-34 might not survive though. Pax gets some decent shots in. The shock troops are not really using cover here. No, this is not cover. Huh, I guess it's not cover. That seems a little bit awkward. We're going out here from the shock troopers. Do remember, shock troopers grenades is instant. The Limonka grenade, it's an impact grenade. So it's a throw and forget basically. Artillery going in here in the Odon position. Although I don't see the Odon here anymore. So it's also up here in KVD and some Rifle guards are present to try and hold. Stuk E is doing a lot of work. Just cannot really hit because of the train tracks for some reason. There we go, good shot. Like, this thing fires fast. And KVD inside the building here with a... I believe this is a Maxim machine gun? Maxim Tokarev machine gun? An interesting little weapon. And we also have more in KVD up here. With the Fedorov Automat, which I believe is technically considered by some people to be the first assault rifle kind of thing. Because it was like basically an automatic battle rifle, but it was very limited. Oh, and the Flammenwerfer is just burning up the NKVD troops. I believe it's actually designed by the Russian Empire during the First World War, the Fedorov Automat. I think it mostly saw usage in the Russian Civil War, to my understanding. But it's credited by some people as like the first actual assault rifle type weapon, simply because of how it operated. But I'm not really an expert on it, because it's such a rare and obscure weapon. Like, it wasn't really a mass-produced weapon in any capacity. Flammenwerfer here doing a good job on the Sys gun, but the conscripts might be able to do enough damage. I don't think that first gun here is gonna get away. Oh, he might. He does, because the conscripts suck at aiming. Like, conscripts are not good at aiming, remember that. They have to provide bulk to your army. Sniper team is doing its best though. Oh, but now they're being shot at, and they don't want to be out in the open. The sniper is actually very vulnerable out in the open. Like, you can see one burster from the MD42. And there they go, they're dead. Goes to a recon team here. Gullwagen lost its gunner. Because the lieutenant is holding up inside this outpost. And the Germans are pushing on the software industrial complex again. But the Serbians have a maximum inside that building. But the Germans do hold 2 of the victory points now, so they are technically winning. We have a Panzer IV G here in the center. Can be loaded with high explosives, so you can see it already is. A very good unit here for Leichte. I think only Leichte gets the Panzer IV G. And I think we would actually overrun these shock troopers. Yeah, they destroyed the camp that one shot. So we're trying to take out the point here again. They decaptured the point at least. But the Stuk E is just such a big problem for them to deal with. Yeah, one shot there almost killed the rifle guards. And you can just see how fast it fires. Oh, we have double the Panzer Grenadiers here with a lot of automatic firepower, but the Maxim Tokarev is making short work of them. Blade going out. Only killed one of the NKVD. Another Stuk E here for the Panzer Division. Looks like other people are taking notes of the Stuk E and how effective it is at dealing with infantry. It does fire pretty fast, as you can see. Machine gun sitting up here. That's forcing the Germans back again. Building doors finally go down over here. Lots of shock troops prepared here to push for the center. Let's see if it'll be enough. They're not all reinforced yet. High explosive loaded. Overshot! That's exactly not what the Russians needed here. They need to activate for Stalin if they want to get out of this problem. Because they're all bunched up there. Yeah, they decide to fall back instead. Panzer IV H now here for the Germans on the southern flank. We also have a Tiger, he's arriving here for the propaganda tactics. That'll certainly be a problem here for the Waffen, not for the Waffen, for the Soviet Union. Some Belarusian irregulars are also present. Not sure how useful they'll be, but they are definitely helping a little with their rifles. Panzer IV H gets taken out by a T-34-85. We also have a mortar here present for the Soviet Union on the southern flank. Looks like the Soviet infantry command is preparing for another push. We have a T-44 here. That'll actually be a problem for the Stuk E, because it's not actually designed to deal with tanks that reliably. But there's the Panzer IV G up here. It just needs repairs. Looks like we have the conscripts riding in on the T-34. The G-fighter heat shell didn't penetrate. But the Soviets need to take out that machine gun, I think. With that machine gun taken out, they could move up the infantry. Stuke A is switching to armor-piercing shells. Explosive loaded here, almost kills the MG. So it's going to safely move up to the point, I think. Now Stuke is going to do his best to try and take out the T-44, but it's not really what it's designed for. Oh, actually it penetrated there, not bad. And the Stuke does fire fast, so... I guess it shouldn't be underestimated. And what's its armor like? It actually has pretty decent armor for what it is, so I don't think the Stuke is as bad as people think. Panzer is moving up here, with an MG-34 and some Gewehr 43s. But there's too many Russians, and they're not really throwing their Molotovs though. Looks like the Germans can hold that position for now. Stuke and Panzer 4G now armed with high explosives. They're gonna overrun this Soviet position, I think. That's just a lot of high explosive shells being fired now. Oh, destroyed the rifle guards in one shot. Yeah, well, here the Tiger Ace is moving up to try and flank this T-44. 85 is moving down to the southern flank to deal with the Stuke here. This T-44 is in trouble. Gets taken out by the packs. And here comes all the shock troopers. But they decide to fall back. Soviets are getting a KV-1 on the northern flank here.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Like, the conscripts are trying to get into positions where they can throw AT grenades, but it's not going to be easy to do.
Keep it short.
Although the Germans are not really covering the flank at the moment. Oh, he almost got it off. Maxim's doing a good job here covering the Soviet retreat, though. Soviets hold the southern flank still. But I think overall the Soviet situation is kind of dire. Like, the Stuke A's are just proving to be really effective. Ah! We also have the Italians on the field here. Unique battle group available to Wehrmacht Leichte. So we have some Italian units on the field. They don't look like Italians, unfortunately, on their models, but that's just how Company Heroes 2 is with modding, unfortunately. That said, though, that's cool. We rarely see the Italian army on the field. They're maybe not the best units, but they are... these units are not the best. The Toscana here. I believe these guys, the Nembo, are pretty competent and pretty decent. Let's see. Tiger Tank is pushing up down here with some stormtroopers, stormtroopers for support. Alongside all the Wehrmacht Panzer forces. They're being very aggressive here. We do have a KV-1 arriving here in the northern flank for the Soviet Union. With more NKVD infantry. Tiger Tank pushing up pretty aggressively. O'Donnell getting mowed down, building on fire. Shock troopers are quickly relocating down here. Flanking in with their PPSHs. I don't think the Canadians want to be in that building for long. Yeah, they get mowed down in seconds there. The Stuke A will be able to take out the shock troopers pretty easily. Yeah, like that. Let's see, KV-1 and T-34 pushing on the northern flank here. We also have a 100mm AT gun going up. So they want to lock down the northern point here. That's what you're trying to move to flank. T-34 misses. I think the conscripts want to jump off that tank. Yeah, it gets taken out. Not looking good for the Soviets there. Oh, the Soviets are taking heavy losses all of a sudden as the Germans are getting a lot of their better equipment. It looks like the 100mm got cancelled. KV-1 is moving up. We'll see if the KV-1 gets penetrated instantly, but takes out the Stuke A. Another shot there from the Panzer 4G. Panzer's getting close to it though, but his machine guns do suppress them. KV-1 is doing its best here, but it's pulling back for repairs, I think. Looks like some kind of ability was activated. Oh, looks like it was close to pocket, but that's not really gonna help at the moment because the Germans are not really cut off anywhere, so close to pocket's not gonna do much but some light mortar fire that kills a machine gun. And never mind then. Double T-3045 here, which even a Tiger has to be cautious of. That's actually 3 T-3045s. Oh, Tiger. Oh, Tiger gets one of them. Oh, but the other 85s will take the chance. Oh, but the other one get it. Yeah, it gets the Tiger.
We are losing territory.
And that's the power of the 85, everyone.
God's troops ready
Still going on the point here. Everyone is still holding up here the best it can. Trying to get shots in an SG. It's still holding up against the G's fire though. Oh, good shot there from the KV-1. And one more should do it. Oh, smoke popped. KV-1 still needs repairs, I think. NKVD secured an orphan flank. Building is hit by a Molotov there. NKVD on the flank here. And Panzer is moving to try to stop them, but they're too close to combat there. And I think this Panzer 4G is gonna go down. That's an AT grenade. Yep. Good job from the Soviet Union. They just need to catch it at victory point. That's Stugi arriving. T-3045 pulling back for repairs. Just a bunch of shock troopers here from Garlic Bread. Not much else. Well, there's some Mthis guns keeping an eye on this backside here, but they need to get victory points because the Soviets are rapidly now losing the advantage they have. Mo Don and Frontaviki flanking through the industrial silo region. Shotos are pushing up very aggressively here. They have Stalin activated, so they cannot be suppressed. But there's a lot of LMGs anyway. Oh, goodly Monka grenade right there. That forces the Wehrmacht back. The shock troopers pull back too as well. So it's trying to secure an awful point here, but the Stuk A is just hitting at it with high explosive shells. So far they've been lucky though. You have to manage to take it. But you can just see how fast it does fire. Oh, it's attack grounding. Okay. That's probably why I didn't hit them. Where do we have the Italians? Looks like the Nembo have been armed with a Lewis gun, okay. And also being armed with an LMG-42. So this is going to be a very good suppressive fire squad, basically. They can be able to put down a lot of suppressive fire. Let's see, what can the Toscana get? Like an MG-34, some MAB-38s, which is the Italian submachine gun. And a sniper, apparently. Interesting. Oh, Stugi might be in trouble here. Yeah, 80 grenades goes off. Now the Italians have to keep the conscripts at bay. But I don't think the Italians, the Toscana squads are that good. They're not that good without any upgrades, I think. But the Panzer 4G comes in to save them. What's the Nembo? Oh, Nembo got killed? Where? I could be missed when the Nembo got killed. Well, that's actually those Italians. Choctaw's pushing up here. There's some dead folks there. Bow down in complete seconds, as you can see. Looking at the southern flank. High explosive on the armored car. But then the T-3485 kills it. It's just arriving on the battlefield now for the Soviet Union. And another KV-1. That's going to be a lot of potential heavy armor here for the Soviet Union. Which the Light Division is going to have some trouble dealing with, except they do have Panzerschrecks. Choctaw is pushing up aggressively. There's a lack of Sphinx to stop them. Yeah, it looks like they are self-destructing here for the forward bunker, which actually does not give a refund, which I think is a little bit odd. And they cancel it. Okay. You probably read that they does not give a refund. Honestly, I think the bunker should give a refund if you self-destruct them. Not a full refund, but just a partial one would be nice. And here we have the Panzer Grenadiers, but the shock troopers just have so much firepower. As you can see, they're just mowing them down. The PPSAs are so lethal. But they are starting to get suppressed, and now they have to pull back. Fire up here with a KV-1. Oh, he lost its main gun, but nothing else. Geballterladung on it. And that was a Panzerknacker. And Panzerknacker takes out the KV-1 instantly. That's the other KV-1 is a veteran to 2 at the moment. Ooh, high explosives just killed the pioneers alongside the conscripts. Ooh. Veteran KV-1 is prepared to move. Lieutenant holding up the front line. Soviets do have 2 victory points at the moment. They are taking out the German victory points right now. More Grenadiers and Stormtroopers into the southern flank. T-3045, but it's in Panzerfaust range. Almost taking it out. That's gonna force it back. So we have a Faustlandier holding the point up here. That's not gonna last long with the KV-1 that might come that way. 100mm AT gun now finally going up. That's gonna make it nigh impossible for the Germans to have any armor in this area. Light an orphan point. And a shock trooper push. They're not even all healed up yet. They are fully reinforced, however. I suppose there's a lack of things to stop them. So that might be a dead Folksturm. Yep. Mowed down in seconds. Looks like we have now trying to push yet. We have another. Oh, that's not a Nimbus squad. That's something else. I have no idea what those are, but they have a nice little icon, like as if indicating they have a sniper rifle. It's another Italian thing. I ran with a light infantry gun as well. What are they called? It doesn't say. Oh, it's the Alpini! Alpina. Which is like the Italian mountain infantry, I believe. Which are pretty damn good at, actually. They're actually worth getting. It looks like they're now made the FNA B43. But so far, it looks like the Russians are keeping the point under control. Russia's now slowly making a comeback now with the Germans losing their panzers and the Turks pushing out without much resistance. Now, range here would help you cover the Germans holding out a little bit better. And the mortar also getting a good shot in. I think the Russians might want to pull back. Yeah, especially with the shock troopers coming up here. Or stormtroopers, I mean. Katyusha opening fire. Oh, and the rockets are hitting very... Oh my god, the rockets are hitting good. Doing so much damage. And now we also have Verdun just holding the other parts of the front line. I don't think the stormtroopers won that fight. They still want to try and take the point though. 100mm AT gun is still waiting. KV-1 has been upgraded to a KV-1E, so it has 30% more armor. Doesn't show that here. But that's gonna make it a lot more armor to deal with. Ooh, the light infantry gun is taking shots at where the 100mm is. Oh, there's also a Italian mortar team. Okay. Wonder what they'll do with the Alpini. Just keep them with what they have. I suppose they can only have 1 weapon slot, so that's all they can do. It's a pretty good submachine gun, though. Only 20 rounds, however. Oh, the 100mm is taking shots now. Get some Toscana moving up here. Get some Italians, not Italians, some Sabres moving up to deal with the Italians. Grenade going out. It's an instant grenade because the Italian grenades can be instant grenades. I think all Italian grenades are actually instant grenades, which is a neat little thing. How they designed them. Panzers are moving up here. Honestly, the Italians actually have a lot of good gear. It's just for the infantry anyway and the aircraft, but they just had a lot of other issues to deal with. Ooh, another good grenade there. Like, don't underestimate the Italian grenades. They do a lot of work. We also now have the Alpini moving up here with their Italian submachine guns. But they're being hit by a lot of machine guns. But they allow for the Panzer Grenadiers to get up here and start mowing down the rifle guards. All stuff going out. Ooh, the Russians are still in trouble, I feel. They actually clear out the 100mm 80 gun team. So it's doing another push down here. Towards the fuel point. Smoke grenades popped. We also have a howitzer coming up here for the shock army. A 152mm. Another Tiger is arriving. Oh, Storms just walked straight into a grenade. And got mowed down entirely. I don't think the shock troopers can win this out of they're suppressed. But they do have a howitzer firing. It's firing that area, I think. Yep. But I think the shock troopers might want to just get out of there. Oh, they are getting up on their feet again. And that's a lot of firepower they can just provide. KV1 is now keep an eye here, but it's... They need something to take the point back. Panzers will move to try and do so, evidently. Or just grab equipment. Yeah, they grabbed the 100mm and assist.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Where's the Tiger Ace? It's pulled back. KV1 is now fighting up here. Oh, it's not really fighting yet, but the 100mm.
Ultimate sacrifice.
Panzers being used to merge. Very good. They can keep the fight going a little bit longer. I don't think KV1 can drive through here because the scissors in the way. But they help take out the pioneers by the looks of it. We'll still hold the southern flank. But the Soviets still need to take another victory point. I mean, they do have a lot of time to work with because they're only losing 1 point every tick. So it's not that bad. The Soviets are going to try and secure the northern point here again. And with 2 conscript squads, they'll definitely secure it. Oh, we also have an ISU 122, or is it an SU 122? Here for the motorized. Looks like the shock trooper is going to go for the Cinder now. Probably realizing they haven't really attacked the Cinder in a while. And it's very likely to defend. It's only an MG42. Goes with the French SS on the battlefield. Very multi-national force here from the Germans today. Oh, and the MG42 is doing its best here, but that's a lot of shock troopers with for Stalin activated. And that's just too much firepower. And the northern flank is being held here by the Soviets now. Overrunning the flank here. Then just falling into Soviet hands. French SS is stuck into the trench to try and hold them back. Tiger Ace is relocating northwards. Also the French SS have been equipped with some MG34s. Try and provide them some firepower. The ED-3045 taken out. I just need to take out those shock troopers. We do have the SU-122 moving up. Armored car supporting his flank. And double cis gun as well. Needs to be cautious though. High explosive loaded here. It's gonna go for the veterans, I think. Ooh, but the Tiger tank might take a shot. Tiger tank doesn't penetrate. Has to be very cautious though, that is a big gun. Conscripts over here might get overrun by Italians. And some Volks Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers. But shock troopers are moving northwards now. I don't think the Light Division is prepared for this. That is very high veterans shock troopers. They are gonna do so much damage in such a short amount of time. But they're not stopping up to fire. Germans are popping inside the building. Probably the wisest choice. But grenades are going in. But they retreat. Only one instant grenade managed to go off. Losing one shock trooper, they might lose 2 shock troopers.
We are down to 200 points.
Looks like they might not get away. Nope, that's 2 shock troopers down. That's costly. That's 800 manpower. Everyone is still holding up down up here. Panzerwerfer coming out here for the propaganda tactics. We do have a Panther tank arriving here for the Panzer Division, which will certainly help. The Panther actually has more frontal armor than the Tiger does. So we can sustain a frontal engagement with T-3045s better. But all 3 points are now in the hands of the Soviets again, so the Germans are on limited time. You're gonna have to work hard to turn this around. PPSH is now being handed out to the conscripts. Unique thing they can get if they're veterans too. Can really improve their firepower. They can get close to this. Rope shields landing here in the center. I wonder if the Germans were prepared to do a push then. Oh, they are! Not a lot of infantry though. Just the Untersturmführer moving up, which is probably not the most efficient use for that. Big force here with Panzer IIs and Stuk G and everything. Oh yeah, Alpini can sneak, by the way. Very neat. Oh, but the 100mm takes out the Stuk immediately.
We have lost a Panzer.
And looks like we have a conscript charge. I don't think the Germans can hold this. They're gonna try though. They're definitely gonna be able to hold it, I think. Conscripts are not gonna be able to get close enough. For one Molotov, but the firepower is just moving them down on all the flanks. Double Molotov on this Panzer Grenadier. KP1 pushing up. There's a lack of things to stop it. Panzer 4H pushing up here. Germans are relying a lot on this forward HQ to stay in the fight. Stugi pushing up here, destroying the Soviets on the southern flank. Panzer 4H is far behind the line. It's hunting down the Katyusha. But let's see if the ISU will... Oh, it misses! But the H cannot really engage successfully here. He knows if it stops something, it's dead. It's gonna take out that T-34. And now they're pushing on the center here. Now they have the chance. Panther and Tiger is moving up. Oh, it hits the rear of the Panzer 4. Panther's pressing up very aggressively. It's going for the SG-122. Oh, it's managing to circle it. It's too close to fire though. And then we have a shot from the flank for 185. Yeah, the Italians and the Light Division pushing, and even Luke's moving up. They're trying their best to overrun the Soviet positions. Big coordination from all the Axis players. Panzer 2 is down, but here comes the Volks Grenadiers and the Italian infantry.
One of our panzers has been destroyed.
Because of the French SS trying to secure the central point, but it's killed by a cheeky Belarusian partisan. Grenades going out from the shock troopers, getting a lot of kills with that Limonka grenade. Oh boy, so many just died in such a short amount of time here. Tiger is still operational. We have some Sturm Grenadiers. Actually, that's Stormtroopers, my bad. It was confusing because Sturm Grenadiers and Stormtroopers have the exact same unit symbols. So that's a little bit difficult for me to differentiate. There should probably be a way to differentiate them, but I'm not sure how. Volkssturm also pushing up. Germans still hold an orphan point. But Germans still hold 2 victory points. They're not losing yet, but they're down to 55 points. If they lose 1 point or both points for a little while, they'll lose. Panzer opening fire. Not doing a lot, but forcing the shock troopers back again. Germans could go for the victory point here, but not doing it for some reason. Well, the Germans are definitely in a bad spot here. Turret Moon to secure the southern victory point. So the Italians and the motorized are pushing far. Are they not trying to see if they can do a cutoff? Because if they can do a cutoff and activate close the pockets, they could essentially annihilate the entire northern front of the Soviet Union, but there's a fortified position here. That's not going to allow them to do it. I see what they're trying to do, though. I like the idea in drive, but it's just going to be very hard to pull off at the moment. And I think the Soviets realize it too, and now there's going to be shock troopers on the flank. Panzermen is doing their best here. They have to pull back, especially with the shock troopers on the flank. Yeah, the Germans live on borrowed time. They're losing 1 point every tick now. They have to act quick.
We are suffering heavy losses. 50 points remain.
Yeah, not very easy to hit a moving target with a Panzer strike. Yeah, I don't think the Germans can make a pullback from this unless they do something drastic. I guess it's just sitting in the center and keeping an eye on it, but they need to push for that other victory point and need to act quick. Yeah, I need moving stuff on there, including the French SS. 1 Panzer 4H as well. Lots of troops are moving in here quick. Churchill's moving into the center, which I think might be a mistake because the Tiger is there. The lighter troops also moving up somewhat. With a half track and everything. Germans are securing the southern point here.
We have casualties.
That's when I try and Panzerknacker it. They do. That's a dead T-34 basically. Ooh, are the Germans still trying to go for the cutoff? The Germans are still going to try and attempt the cutoff here. Oh, but 18 kills them all. They're really trying to go for the cutoff strategy to use a close to pocket, but it's not going to work, I think. The Soviets have just given an eye on it too much. Because of a B4 riding here. They're backing off on KV1 probably to keep an eye on the points. Because of a KV2 in the center.
Prepare to execute.
Germans are on their last legs, I feel. No heavy armor was able to arrive here for the Panzer tactics. Panzer division for the Wehrmacht. They did get 1 Panther though, but it didn't seem like it was enough. The sheer might of the Soviets just keep arriving. Shock troopers is preparing to move for the center again. KV2 for supports. KV45 as well. Oh, and that's a KV2 shot if there ever was one. The KV2 is pretty intense, and we also have howitzer shells landing behind. I don't think the Germans can hold the point. They're certainly gonna try though. But shock troopers is gonna make it very difficult for that Tigers to kill them fast enough. Rockets going in though, and that's gonna force them back. Very nice. Even kills one of them. KV2 and T-45 though. Artillery rockets as well on the Wehrmacht side. We have several French SS on the field. Oh no, penetration! Oh, this is risky. We have a KV1 pushing up on the Tigers. It's ramming it! Oh! Didn't do a lot, but it was a cool ram. Oh, and it's got the mobility of the Tigers. All top as well. I think they might have dazed enough. Oh my god! And then the 85 clears it out. Oh my god, what a hero KV1! That is a hero crew right there. Stared death right in the face and decided to charge it. And that's a way for the Soviet Union to win a battle, I guess. And this was quite an intense fight indeed. At this point, the Germans surrender. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this one. I certainly did. I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Bye-bye.